Chosen one, before your thumb moves to scroll past this, stop right now. Please do not skip this urgent message today. This specific moment on your screen is not an accident. Heaven has literally bent the rules of time to place this warning in your path. You feel the heavy truth deep in your spirit, and if you walk away now, you might miss the very protection you have been begging for in secret. But do not be afraid of this warning. I am not here to punish you today. Breathe slowly and steady your racing heart now. Let your tight and heavy shoulders fall down. You are my beloved child, and I see the massive weight you are carrying. The alarm bells in your spirit are not meant to harm you. They are meant to wake you up because the enemy wants to steal your peace. You are perfectly safe in my hands today. I know the quiet nights you have stayed awake. I see you staring at the ceiling in the dark. You calculate numbers and worry about tomorrow. You feel suffocated by the fear of how you will survive another heavy month. But I am stepping into your storm today with a specific mandate. I have watched you swallow your tears because you had to be strong for everyone else. You push through the deep pain every single morning. You smile for them despite the heavy burden. But inside, your spirit is quietly breaking under the intense pressure. You are tired of being the strong one all the time. You are tired of bleeding to prove you care. No one sees how close you are to breaking, but I do. I count every silent tear that falls on your lonely pillow. Please listen to my voice closely right now. The heavy exhaustion you feel is not just natural stress. It is a spiritual alarm, ringing loudly in the unseen realm. The adversary is terrified of the destiny written on your life. He wants to keep you distracted and completely drained. But his dark time is absolutely UP today. I am drawing a protective line around your mind and your family today. You have lived in sheer survival mode for so long. You wait for the next piece of bad news to drop. Your nervous system no longer knows how to recognize genuine peace. You overthink every single tiny decision you make. You are terrified that one wrong step will ruin the massive blessing I have prepared for you. Please hear my voice clearly right now. You cannot ruin what I have called you to just by being human. Pause briefly right exactly where you are. Unclench your tight jaw right this very second. Take one long and slow breath in and let it out gently today. I am not stepping into your room to give you another heavy task. I am here to give you my divine and healing presence. The thick fog that has clouded your mind is about to lift. You just need to stay still and receive my word. I told you, this is my last warning. It is a warning to stop fighting battles I never asked you to fight. You have been defending yourself against people who are determined to misunderstand you. You feel a deep pressure to explain yourself one more time. Please do not do it anymore. Lay down your heavy defense right now. Your time of performing innocence is officially over. Heaven has been quietly watching everything you do. Heaven is not confused by the vicious lies of the enemy. The Supreme Judge is about to speak on your behalf. I require your holy silence to clear the room. You do not need to say a single word. Let me fight this invisible war for you. The vindication you seek will arrive when you finally stop trying to prove your worth to them. I need you to stay with me right now. Do not let the loud distraction of this world pull your eyes away. I am breaking through the noise around you for a specific reason. Before this short message ends, I will reveal the exact strategy the enemy is using. I will place a profound secret directly in your hand. You must know this to protect your upcoming and abundant harvest. The tension you feel in the air is very real. It is the violent friction of your old season colliding with your new arrival. You must not ignore this profound spiritual shift. You are standing right at the edge of a massive breakthrough. I just need you to remain planted here with me. We are about to uncover the hidden root of your quiet pain. Let me speak to something tender now. Something you have carried quietly for so long. You wait until the house is completely dark and silent. You sit on the edge of the bed alone. And while everyone else is sleeping peacefully, your mind is racing with 1,000 anxious thoughts about how you will survive tomorrow. I saw you suffering alone last night. I saw you staring blankly at the dark ceiling. The heavy silence of the room felt like a physical weight. You swallowed a deep lump in your throat and forced the tears back, because you absolutely refuse to let anyone see how close you are to breaking. You are the solid pillar for everyone else. But who is going to hold you up? The physical exhaustion is settling deep into your bones. Your lower back constantly aches from the tension. You clench your jaw tightly in your sleep without even realizing it. And when the morning sun finally rises, you put on your brave face and step back into the chaotic world as if nothing is wrong. You pour your energy into fixing other people. You listen to all their endless problems, but no one asks if you are okay. They just assume you can handle the endless pressure. They take your endless generosity completely for granted. The truth is that you are practically running on empty right now. You give and give until there is nothing left for your own soul, but you feel extremely guilty whenever you try to finally take a break. This cycle is slowly destroying your physical body. I hear the silent prayers you whisper in the dark. I hear the desperate plea for a single moment of rest. You do not ask for massive riches or extravagant miracles. You just want the relentless anxiety in your chest to finally stop. You desperately want to wake up feeling light and joyful, instead of feeling already defeated by the heavy day ahead. But the weight of those obligations keeps you chained. Your stomach ties itself in knots when you look at the calendar. The math simply does not add up no matter how hard you try. You work twice as hard as the people around you. You play by all the rules and do the right thing. Yet somehow you are the one constantly struggling to survive, while those who act selfishly seem to effortlessly get ahead in life. It feels profoundly unfair and cruel today. I see the specific toll this takes on your memory. You walk into a room and forget why you are there. You lose your train of thought in the middle of a simple sentence. This heavy brain fog makes you feel like you are losing your grip on reality. You secretly worry that you are not strong enough to carry this massive burden, and you blame yourself for being so terribly exhausted. That is a vicious and toxic lie. Your exhaustion is a literal sign of your deep spiritual sensitivity. You are carrying the energetic debris of everyone you interact with. You absorb their pain and their unspoken fears like a sponge. This is why busy public spaces drain you so very quickly. You come home feeling completely depleted and hollow, as if you have run a massive marathon when you only went to the store. I see this incredibly quiet struggle. I know you feel completely abandoned in the waiting room of life. You watch other people receive their blessings and their sudden breakthroughs. You celebrate their victories while your own hands remain painfully empty. You smile and offer your congratulations with a genuinely pure heart. And later, when you are completely alone, you stare at the bathroom mirror and desperately ask me when your turn will finally arrive. I hear that painful question clearly. The isolation of your calling is the hardest part to bear. You cannot easily explain your deep spiritual experiences to your family. They look at you with confused eyes when you try to share your heart. So you choose to stay entirely silent to protect your peace, because being misunderstood by the people you love is too painful to endure. You swallow the profound loneliness every single day. You pretend that everything is perfectly fine. Let me speak directly to your body right now. I feel the tight knots of pure anxiety resting deeply in your gut. I see how your breathing becomes incredibly shallow when you think about your finances. You are aggressively bracing yourself for a disaster that is not actually going to happen, and this constant fear is draining your life force. Your nervous system is constantly trapped in high alert. You must give yourself permission to simply rest today. I need you to understand something incredibly important right now. There is a massive difference between a natural delay and a severe spiritual attack. You thought your heavy exhaustion was a sign of your personal failure, and you believed you were simply not praying hard enough to fix it. But let me reveal the hidden architecture of your current struggle. Breathe out that heavy guilt this very second. Your constant fatigue is absolutely not a sign of weak faith. You are incredibly harsh on yourself when things do not go exactly according to your plan. You carry the heavy blame for every single thing that breaks around you. But the deep fog in your mind is actually a physiological response to a severe battle. The adversary did not target your finances and your peace because you are weak. He attacked you specifically because he is terrified of the destiny written on your life. He sees the massive shift that is about to happen in your bloodline today. He knows you are the chosen sickle breaker of your family, and he is desperately trying to pull you out of the race. Listen to my voice closely and do not skim the next sentence. The heavy sadness you have felt recently is not clinical depression at all. It is highly calculated spiritual warfare. The enemy wants to completely drain your energy so you cannot receive your incoming harvest, and he uses petty distractions and toxic people to constantly steal your precious focus. He knows that if you wake up feeling utterly defeated every day, you will never use your divine authority. He wants you to stay in the corner like a wounded victim. He desperately hopes you will keep begging for the very things you already own. But I am stepping in today to completely break that toxic illusion over your mind, because you are not a helpless victim in this massive story. You are the rightful heir to an incredible inheritance, and an heir does not stand at the quiet counter and beg for tiny crumbs. I need you to completely reframe how you see this dark season of intense pressure. The attacks have severely increased because your massive arrival is closer than it has ever been, and the darkness always fights the hardest right before the dawn finally breaks. Stop blaming yourself for the closed doors and the sudden rejections. Those painful rejections were never a harsh punishment for your past mistakes. I have been aggressively clearing out the wrong people from your future path today. I had to create a profound silence around you so the enemy could not plant his toxic seeds in your inner circle, and your sudden isolation was actually my fierce protection. Stay with me here, and do not let your mind wander away. The enemy wants you to secretly believe that you are completely forgotten. He whispers vicious lies in the middle of the dark night when you feel the most alone, and he tells you that your massive dreams are foolish while you constantly struggle to survive. But heaven is loudly laughing at his desperate and pathetic attempts to stop you. Your unexplainable exhaustion is simply the heavy dust of a massive spiritual collision. Your old reality of constant lack is violently clashing with your new reality of absolute abundance. Your body clearly feels the massive physical shockwave of this invisible transition today. That is exactly why your memory suddenly slips and your physical energy violently crashes, because your body is trying to process a profound upgrade. Do not call yourself completely broken when you are simply under holy compression. A beautiful diamond requires immense physical pressure before it can finally shine. The adversary truly thought the heavy pressure would crush your delicate spirit permanently, but he severely miscalculated the immense and quiet strength I carefully placed inside your beautiful soul, and you are currently surviving attacks that would have easily destroyed anyone else. I am taking the heavy blame off your tired shoulders right now. You do not have to carry the massive guilt anymore. The sudden delays were fully orchestrated by the enemy to steal your joy. But I am powerfully turning his vicious trap into your ultimate stepping stone, because your profound vindication is already firmly in motion today. Let me speak to the quiet ache hiding deeply in your chest today. There is another heavy layer beneath your physical exhaustion. You have been waiting for a very long time. You cry out for a massive breakthrough, and you receive absolute silence. And the heavy silence of heaven feels like a sharp knife to your already bleeding heart. You do everything completely right. You pray the right words. You fast. You diligently serve the people around you with a pure heart. But when you look up and desperately ask for a simple sign, you hear nothing at all. You feel completely invisible to me. You wonder if your prayers are just bouncing off the cold ceiling and falling to the floor. The profound silence makes you feel incredibly lonely. You see other people receiving their massive miracles so easily. They boast about their sudden blessings and their answered prayers. You smile for them. You type congratulations on their posts. But deep inside your weary soul, you secretly ask why I have totally forgotten your address. You start to deeply question your own worth. You wonder if you made a terrible mistake in your past that disqualified you. The heavy enemy whispers that my silence is actually my fierce anger. You sit in the quiet corner and try to completely apologize for sins you cannot even remember. You desperately bargain with me to just fix this heavy pain. I see you trying to forcefully create a miracle with your own bare hands. You exhaust yourself trying to magically open doors that are firmly locked. You panic because the bank account is draining. The deadline is rapidly approaching, and yet heaven seems completely still. You feel like a lost child abandoned in a massive and dark forest. Pause briefly right where you are. Unclench your tired hands. Breathe slowly now. Let the intense pressure of the waiting room gently settle down. You have carried this heavy rejection for months. You truly thought my silence meant you were completely rejected, but you have drastically misunderstood the profound nature of my quietness today. Your unexplainable tears are fully collected in my hands. I saw the specific moment you sat in your car and cried silently before walking into the house. You wiped your eyes. You took a deep breath. You walked inside and pretended you were perfectly fine for the sake of your family. But I was sitting right beside you in that lonely car. The waiting season is tearing your heart into tiny pieces. You are so incredibly tired of being told to just hold on a little longer. The words of comfort from other people feel completely empty and hollow now. You do not want another vague promise today. You desperately want a physical rescue from the heavy storm that is crushing your spirit. You feel incredibly fragile and incredibly defensive. When someone asks how you are doing, you aggressively smile and change the subject. You are deeply afraid that if you tell the actual truth, you will completely fall apart in front of them. The thick mask of strength is suffocating you, but you are absolutely terrified to finally take it off. I know you are deeply angry with me sometimes. You try to hide the frustration because you think it is a massive sin. You think I will punish you for doubting my perfect timing. But I am not intimidated by your honest pain. I am not angry at your raw frustration. Your tears are completely safe with me, and your tired soul is entirely held in my grace. Stay with me here, and do not let your focus drift away. The enemy desperately wants you to isolate yourself in this heavy silence. He wants you to believe that you are totally unlovable and permanently broken. But I am about to show you the massive difference between abandonment and divine preparation. The silence is not what you think it is. I hear your tired voice breaking when you try to pray. You literally run out of words. You just sit in the dark and let the heavy tears fall down your face. And in those incredibly quiet moments, I am holding you closer than ever before. Your silent tears are the most powerful prayers ascending directly to my throne today. You are never forgotten. I need you to listen to me very carefully right now. The profound silence you have been experiencing is completely misunderstood. You deeply believed that my quietness was a clear sign of rejection, and you thought I was heavily punishing you for your hidden mistakes. But let me completely pull back the invisible curtain today. The silence is actually my fierce protection over your life. You measure my presence by the loud miracles and the sudden breakthroughs. You want to see immediate proof that I am actively working. But some of the most massive victories are won in absolute silence. While you were busy crying on your bedroom floor, I was brutally sweeping the hidden enemies out of your upcoming future. I was breaking the secret traps they laid for you. The adversary strategically planted toxic people deep inside your inner circle. He wanted them to have direct access to your massive harvest when it finally arrived. If I had answered your prayers immediately, you would have carried those dangerous parasites right into your promised land. I had to abruptly stop everything right now. I had to plunge your life into temporary darkness to expose their motives. Think about the sudden betrayals you experienced recently. People you entirely trusted suddenly walked away without any valid explanation. You desperately chased them and begged them to stay. But their sudden departure was not a heartbreaking tragedy, because it was actually a precise and surgical removal operated directly by my hand. I am completely sterilizing the room before I place the blessing inside. Stay with me and do not let your attention fade away. You felt like your life was painfully falling apart piece by piece. You completely panicked because the old structure of your comfort was collapsing. But things were not actually falling apart today, because they were aggressively and perfectly falling into absolute alignment. The heavy silence was the loud sound of the enemy being permanently evicted from your house. I cannot entrust massive wealth to a compromised vessel. I cannot pour pure water into a deeply contaminated glass. You desperately asked me for a financial miracle while you were intimately surrounded by cunning thieves. So I locked the heavy door to your vault to keep your future completely safe, and I made heaven quiet so you could finally hear the vicious whispers of the fake people. You thought the intense delay was an unbearable punishment, but the delay was actually a brilliant military strategy. I forced the adversary to aggressively overplay his desperate hand. He thought my silence meant you were completely unprotected, so he boldly stepped out of the shadows to finally destroy you. And the moment he revealed his true face, I permanently severed his toxic access. Hold this profound truth tightly in your spirit today. You are completely safe in my hands now. The painful season of severe isolation was a mandatory quarantine for your soul. I had to break your deep attachment to the people who were secretly bleeding you dry. I had to teach you how to stand entirely alone so you would never compromise your massive destiny for cheap affection again. Your spirit is finally completely clean today. The heavy fog of the waiting room is rapidly dissipating. The invisible battlefield has been completely cleared of the hidden landmines. You survived the intense pressure of the silent season. And now you are standing at the absolute edge of your magnificent arrival, where you no longer need to violently beg for a miracle. You just need to step firmly into the empty space I have cleared for you. Let this powerful revelation wash over your tired mind. You are the chosen cycle breaker of your entire bloodline, and a cycle breaker must be aggressively separated from the toxic patterns of the past. The divine silence was the massive sound of your generational curses being brutally shattered on the floor. Prepare yourself to claim the vast territory today. Do not look back at the people who left you behind. Do not mourn the sudden losses that broke your fragile heart. They simply could not survive the intense frequency of your new assignment. You are about to step into a staggering level of absolute authority because the enemy has been completely removed from your timeline. The heavy door is completely unlocked for the rightful heir today. You can feel the intense pressure building in the air right now. The atmosphere around you is incredibly thick and heavy. It feels like a massive storm is about to break wide open. You are standing directly on the threshold of your new season, and the spiritual friction is so violent that your physical body is shaking from the intense impact of the colliding realms today. I watched you completely exhaust yourself trying to hold it together. I watched you smile politely when your heart was violently breaking. I watched you calculate the dwindling money in the dark of the night, and I felt the intense panic rising deeply inside your chest when the numbers simply failed to make any logical sense. You carry a massive mountain on your very fragile shoulders. I felt the sharp anxiety gripping your stomach every single morning. I felt the quiet terror when you looked at the incoming bills. I felt the desperate heavy scream trapped deeply in your tired throat. You thought this immense pressure was a clear sign of your complete failure. But this intense compression is actually the holy birthing of your massive miracle, because heaven requires tremendous force to push you out of the dark wilderness. The doorway to the arrival season is incredibly narrow and tight. You must drop the heavy baggage to fit through this specific door. The sudden chaos happening around you is not a random coincidence today. The adversary knows you are dangerously close to crossing the final line, and he is aggressively throwing every minor inconvenience at your tired mind to see if you will finally crack under the heavy pressure. He sends sudden, unexpected expenses to drain your small bank account. He triggers random arguments with the people you love the most. He causes sudden mechanical failures to deeply frustrate your daily routine. He wants you to completely break down right before the heavy veil lifts. So he is trying to force you into a state of blind panic to make you surrender your rightful crown. Do not look at the violent waves crashing loudly around you. Do not let his desperate and pathetic noise distract your holy focus. You are entirely safe inside the eye of this massive spiritual hurricane. The loud thunder outside is just the sound of the old chains breaking, and your generational curses are screaming loudly as they are finally destroyed by the pure light of my absolute truth. You are way too close to the massive finish line today. You are way too close to simply turn around and walk away. You are way too close to let a temporary heavy storm steal your harvest. I have not brought you this incredibly far to suddenly abandon you in the dark. and the final stretch of the agonizing race is always the most painful part of the entire journey. I absolutely demand you to hold your sacred ground right this very minute. Stand incredibly still and refuse to move a single inch backward. The heavy rubber band of your destiny is stretched to its absolute maximum limit. The tension feels like it is going to snap your fragile spirit right in half, but the intense snap will actually propel you directly into the massive wealth you were promised long ago. I saw every single time you wanted to give up entirely. I saw the painful moment you threw your hands in the air. I saw you fall down on the heavy floor and cry out for deep mercy. But I also saw you pick yourself back up every single morning, and you wiped your face with sheer determination to boldly step back into the raging battlefield again despite your heavy bleeding. You are a fierce warrior who simply refuses to stay completely down. The kingdom of darkness is absolutely terrified of your quiet resilience. They threw their heaviest weapons at you and you are still standing firmly here. Your tired legs are violently shaking, but your powerful spirit remains completely unbroken, because you know deep inside that the great threshold of victory is right in front of you. Stay completely focused on my voice as the noise reaches its absolute peak. Do not let the sudden fear make you close your tired eyes. The heavy compression is about to release into a massive wave of absolute abundance. The long season of intense waiting is breathing its final pathetic breath today, and you must prepare your empty hands to receive the heavy keys to your brand new kingdom. The heavy waiting season is finally taking its very last breath today. You have survived the brutal and silent wilderness that broke so many others before you. The prolonged silence was never a sign of my burning anger against you, but it was my massive shield wrapped around your fragile life while the enemy violently tried to steal your future. Your deep tears have watered the very seeds of your upcoming and massive harvest. You desperately begged me to speak when the dark room felt incredibly lonely. You thought I was simply ignoring your heavy pain, but I was actually locking the heavy doors you desperately tried to open, because those specific doors would have completely destroyed your bright future. The painful delay was not a punishment at all. It was the exact vehicle of your ultimate rescue today. Look closely at the heavy scars you currently carry on your tired spirit. They are not embarrassing marks of your massive failure or your weak faith. They are the glorious medals of a true and fierce cycle breaker. You stood your holy ground when the chaotic winds threatened to completely blow your entire life apart. You kept walking forward in the blinding fog, and you refused to quit even when your tired legs wanted to collapse entirely. The adversary thought the intense pressure would make you permanently quit the race. He heavily banked on your quiet exhaustion to make you surrender your rightful crown, but he completely underestimated the divine fire I carefully placed deep inside your beautiful soul. You are not a fragile victim begging for a tiny miracle anymore, because you are the powerful heir stepping boldly into your vast kingdom today. The tables in the unseen spiritual realm are violently turning right now. The hidden dark forces that tormented your finances are suddenly running away in sheer terror. They see the massive angelic protection that is currently surrounding your quiet house today, and the long days of you constantly worrying about basic survival are coming to a very abrupt and permanent end right this second. I am completely breaking the heavy yoke of generational poverty off your neck right now. You have paid the incredibly high price of the lonely waiting room. You have passed the silent test of my profound and rigorous preparation. And now the massive floodgates of heaven are aggressively shaking under the sheer weight of your impending blessing, while the enemy has absolutely no legal right to touch your finances anymore. Do not look down at the dirt of your past mistakes for another second. Lift your tired head up and look directly at the blazing horizon today. The heavy fog is melting away to reveal the massive territory I have deeded to your specific name. You will never have to scrape the bottom of the empty barrel again, because your brand new season is characterized by absolute and overwhelming overflow in every single area. You can feel the massive shift happening inside your chest right this very moment. The heavy anxiety is rapidly being replaced by a fierce and holy confidence. You are suddenly realizing exactly who you really are in my kingdom today. The painful days of you shrinking down to make fake people feel comfortable are absolutely over, and you are finally stepping into the massive light where your soul truly belongs. Every single tear you shed in the dark has been fully weaponized against the enemy. Your quiet suffering has been transformed into a massive battering ram today. The heavy iron gates of your profound breakthrough are violently crashing down right before your very eyes. You do not have to fight the desperate shadows anymore, because you just need to calmly walk straight through the massive open door I have provided. Listen to the glorious sound of your massive victory echoing in the spiritual realm. The enemy is completely defeated and his toxic weapons are entirely broken on the floor. I have completely vindicated your quiet and faithful name in front of your loudest doubters. The intense season of divine preparation is completely finished now, and the grand stage is perfectly set for your massive arrival today. The moment of absolute truth has finally arrived today. You have crossed the heavy threshold and survived the intense fire. The dark wilderness is completely behind you now. You are standing in the blazing light of your massive breakthrough, and heaven is loudly blowing the silver trumpets to announce your triumphant arrival to the entire spiritual realm today. You are finally home. A petitioner stands at a quiet counter and fiercely bargains. They desperately beg for tiny crumbs from the massive table of the king. They truly think they have to bleed to earn a simple blessing, but an heir walks directly through the heavy front doors of the massive estate and boldly receives everything. You are the rightful heir to this magnificent kingdom today. Stop standing at the counter of heaven like a tired beggar. The transactional religion that taught you to blindly grovel is officially over. You do not have to forcefully earn my deep love anymore. The immense inheritance has already been completely deeded to your specific name, and you just need to square your heavy shoulders and boldly claim your massive prize right now. I am handing you the master key to the hidden vault right now. The enemy desperately hoped you would never discover your true identity. He wanted you to live like a poor slave in the massive house of your father, but the thick blindfold has been permanently ripped off your tired eyes today. You finally see the staggering wealth and absolute authority that truly belong to you. You are the designated cycle breaker of your entire bloodline. Your tired ancestors struggled with heavy lack and severe poverty for many generations, and they constantly survived on the absolute bare minimum just to make it through the long week. But that toxic generational curse violently shatters right here and right now. I have chosen you to be the massive vessel of abundance. You will never have to secretly calculate the grocery bill again. You will never have to cry in the dark because the heavy numbers simply do not add up. The heavy season of painful scarcity is completely dead and buried today, because I am pouring out a massive financial blessing that will completely overflow your tired hands. Your bank accounts will radically multiply while you peacefully sleep. Your enemies are completely paralyzed by sheer terror right now. They watch in absolute horror as I elevate you directly in front of their jealous eyes. They aggressively tried to completely destroy your precious reputation with their vicious lies, but I have permanently turned their toxic poison into the very platform of your massive promotion. You are untouchable and fiercely protected. This is the profound secret I promised to reveal to you earlier. The missing key to your massive breakthrough was never about physically working harder, because the absolute key was stepping fully into your divine authority without any quiet apologies. You must fiercely command the heavy mountains to move instead of politely asking them to suddenly shift. You have the actual voice of a conqueror. Rise up from the dusty floor and take your rightful seat today. The massive banquet table has been perfectly prepared for you in the presence of your enemies, and the heavy crown of absolute victory is being gently placed on your tired head right now. Every single tear you cried in the dark has completely turned into a massive diamond. You have finally won the great spiritual war today. Breathe in the powerful air of absolute freedom right this second. The heavy iron chains of severe anxiety have completely evaporated from your tired wrists. You are a free and powerful warrior walking into a beautiful season of massive harvest, and you must embrace your spectacular destiny and absolutely refuse to ever shrink down again. Your glorious and magnificent reign has officially begun. Pause briefly right exactly where you are today. Close your tired eyes for just a single moment, unclench your tight jaw, and let your tongue gently fall. You have carried incredibly heavy things in this profound message today, and your beautiful spirit needs a moment to completely absorb the staggering truth. Let the massive intensity gently settle into your physical body right now. Take one long and slow breath in through your nose today. Hold it gently for just a tiny second, and now let it all out with a quiet sigh. Exhale the massive anxiety that has been living deeply inside your chest for so many years. You do not have to fiercely guard your fragile heart anymore, because the invisible war is completely over and you have absolutely won the massive battle. Feel the heavy and thick armor finally falling off your tired back. You have worn that heavy survival suit for such a very long time. You almost forgot what it feels like to simply be completely soft and safe. But the holy sanctuary is completely secure today, and the violent enemies are permanently locked entirely outside the massive and heavy gates of your brand new kingdom. You can finally drop your heavy sword on the solid ground today. Your tired hands are probably shaking from gripping it so tightly in the dark. Let your weary fingers completely relax right now. I am taking over the long night watch so you can finally get some real and deep sleep, and you do not need to constantly scan the dark horizon for another sudden disaster anymore. Your nervous system has been trapped in sheer panic for many long months. You have been waiting for the next painful shoe to finally drop on your head, but I am fiercely commanding your body to relax. The heavy storm has completely passed by your quiet house, and only the gentle morning dew remains on the beautiful green grass of your new territory today. Please give yourself holy permission to rest right this very second. You are not being lazy when you finally stop moving. You are simply healing from a massive and profound spiritual battle. The deep exhaustion you feel right now is just your tired body realizing it is finally safe, so let the heavy tears of sheer relief silently fall down your face without any apologies today. You are completely surrounded by an impenetrable wall of holy fire today. Nothing evil can cross this massive boundary to suddenly touch your peaceful life. You are safely hidden entirely inside my massive and protective hands. I want you to feel the profound weight of my divine peace wrapping around you, just like a very thick and warm blanket in the middle of the freezing winter. Look at how incredibly far you have journeyed through the dark wilderness. You survived terrible days that you truly thought would completely destroy your fragile mind. You are still breathing, and your beautiful heart is still beating strongly today. I am so incredibly proud of your quiet resilience and your beautiful and unwavering faith in my ultimate and glorious master plan. The heavy mountain of debt and fear is completely melting away in the glorious light. The massive financial blessing is already flowing directly into your open hands today. You do not have to aggressively chase the beautiful harvest anymore. You just need to calmly stand perfectly still and watch my glorious provision completely overtake your entire life with absolute ease and grace. Let your racing mind completely slow down to a gentle and peaceful walk. The 1,000 anxious thoughts about tomorrow are officially canceled right now. Tomorrow is completely secured and beautifully arranged by my own hands. You only need to exist entirely in this quiet and sacred moment today, because the beautiful present is where your true divine power deeply lives and breathes. Your tired spirit knows that every single word I have spoken is absolute truth. You feel a deep and undeniable resonance echoing directly in your soul right now. The heavy confusion is completely gone and the bright path is totally clear. Lean your tired head back and surrender your heavy burdens entirely to me right now, because you are perfectly loved and incredibly cherished forever. You arrived here feeling like a broken beggar. You were terrified that my silence meant a harsh punishment, but the fog has lifted from your eyes today. You finally know the beautiful truth about your destiny. You are the chosen heir, and the royal vault is unlocked. Your anxiety is completely washed away by my profound peace, because you finally realize I was fiercely protecting you all along. If this holy sanctuary has bound your deep wounds, take a moment to honor the sacred altar. A true heir does not hoard their blessing in secret. They step forward in fierce faith and display their absolute gratitude. Plant a financial seed through the super thanks button below right now. This is your physical decree that you trust the massive harvest is coming, and it proves the old spirit of poverty has lost its grip. The heavy season of isolation is breaking off you right now, but heaven always works through divine connection and radical generosity. There is someone in your phone contacts who is staring at their dark screen. They are terrified of tomorrow, just like you were yesterday. Use your own hands to be their sudden rescue today, because passing this blessing forward is the exact way you keep your spirit completely clean. Sharing this message sets heavenly multiplication into rapid motion. Share this holy word to save their fragile peace tonight. Watch your own harvest multiply when you bless another beautiful soul. The enemy desperately wants them to remain lost in the terrible dark, and he hopes you will stay too selfish to reach out and pull them into the light. Do not let him win this vicious battle today. You must fiercely protect the frequency of your brand new season. Subscribe to this space so tomorrow reaches your feed before old habits return. The adversary will try to block my voice from your life again, because he knows my daily guidance is the weapon that keeps you safe. But your quiet obedience completely destroys his pathetic strategy. Go to the comments right now and proudly type 777. Write those numbers to permanently seal this prophetic word over your family. It is the first beautiful stroke of an acknowledgement signed by a true heir. You are officially signing for your spiritual package today. The heavenly transaction is completely finished and recorded in the holy books. Nobody can steal what bears your specific name, because heaven has dispatched a legion of angels to guard your new territory. Rest your tired head now and know everything is perfectly handled. The heavy armor has been removed from your weary shoulders today. You are walking into a breathtaking season of absolute abundance and sheer joy. Do not look back at the dark wilderness ever again. The bright sun is rising over your magnificent territory, and the warm light is completely melting away the cold shadows that kept you trapped in fear. I am sending strong angels to fiercely guard your quiet home tonight. They will stand proudly at your front door and block any toxic energy. You will sleep peacefully without a single anxious thought, because your spirit finally recognizes you do not have to fight for your survival anymore. When you wake up tomorrow morning, you will feel incredibly light and completely restored. The great battle is finally over today. Hold on to this profound truth whenever the loud world tries to confuse you. You are my beloved child and my most precious creation. You were specifically designed to break the heavy curses of your bloodline, and you carry the exact frequency required to heal the deep wounds of your ancestors. The universe is rapidly shifting to accommodate your massive arrival today. Step gracefully into the glorious light and claim your place. You are completely safe and entirely loved beyond human comprehension. The massive vault of heaven remains wide open for you every single day. Let the profound peace of this sacred moment carry you through the week. I will speak to your beautiful spirit again very soon. Stay incredibly still and watch your Father move the mountains, because your only job right now is to exist in absolute joy and receive your endless blessings.